Regional Airport. Automated weather observation 1239er Zulu. Wind 240 at 08. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 29er Celsius. Dew point 23 Celsius. Altimeter 3005. Remarks. Density altitude 1,700.
Florence Tower suspended operations at 1700 local time. The common traffic.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Delta Tango Driver YouTube channel. We have a quick little VFR flight over to Ocean Isle Beach, North Carolina. It's about a 30-minute flight, and it's going to be a nice, hot summer morning. Already up around 85 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's not even 9 o'clock yet. Florence traffic bearing 584 Delta Tango's taxiing Bravo 4 to runway 19er. Florence traffic. So, since the pandemic started, our local class Delta has closed up their air traffic control until 9 o'clock in the morning. I guess working different hours is going to help slow the spread of this virus. And if you can hint the sarcasm in my voice. Alright, so we have ATIS. We have our altimeter setting 3005 set up, and all of our flight displays. We're going to be taking runway 19er for departure over to the east, so we'll go ahead and get our GPS set up, 60 Juliet, and we're going to climb all the way on up to 5,500. Anytime you're flying east, you need to be on odd thousands. If you're flying west, you need to be on even thousands. And if it's VFR like it is today, we'll be at odd thousand plus 500, and that's going to make sure that everybody has good clearance. All the different airplanes up in this specific area, we all have clearance from each other. So normally we'd be talking to Florence ground right now, but like I said, the tower is closed until 9 o'clock, so we make pilot-controlled radio calls. We'll do a quick run-up, and we'll be right back with you. Alright, run-up is complete, and everything checks out. So go ahead and make our call and take the runway. Florence traffic bearing 584 Delta Tango is taking runway 19er for departure to the east. Florence traffic. Mixture's full rich, props full forward, cow flaps are open, trim is set for takeoff. We have 0 flaps in. Rotation speed will be right at 85 knots. We'll climb out above blue line, which is 100, and we'll set up for a cruise climb of about 125 knots. We'll take center line, start bringing the power in, feet flat on the floor. Power's coming up, P's and T's are in the green. Airspeed's live, takeoff power is set. There's 80. There's 85, positive rate. Blue line, gears coming up. There's 500. We'll pull it back to our climb out power, which is 25 inches of manifold pressure. and 2,500 RPM. Prop sinks on. And Florence traffic bearing 584 Delta Tango's left crosswind, runway 19er, 584 Delta Tango. Landing lights are off, taxi lights off. Go ahead and go direct. Enter.
Florence Tower, 272296 Foxtrot is taxiing to runway 19, Florence.
Alright, so we have our autopilot engaged. We're in GPS mode. And we're in vertical speed mode, so we're going to be climbing at about 1,000 feet a minute. Gives us a nice cruise climb of about 130 knots. Keeps everything nice and cool on a hot day like today. Alright, we're at 2,000 feet. We're exiting the Class Delta airspace. We'll go ahead and make our last call, and we'll pick up flight following over Myrtle Beach. Florence traffic bearing 584 Delta Tango is exiting the pattern to the east, last call. Alright, switch on over to Myrtle Beach and give them a call and see if we can pick up flight following. So as we climb, our manifold pressure will fall off. We need to continue to advance the throttles to keep that 25 inches of manifold pressure. Good morning, Myrtle Beach approach, bearing 584 Delta Tango with request.
Bearing 584 Delta Tango, Myrtle Beach approach.
We're just off of Florence, 3,300, climbing 5,500, like flight following to 60 Juliet at 5,500.
Bearing 584 Delta Tango, squawk 0376.
0376, 584 Delta Tango.
Spirit Wings 3005, Myrtle Beach departure, radar contact. Sorry, I'd like to say again, altitude passing. Bearing 584 Delta Tango, radar contact 2 miles southeast of the Florence Airport. No weather available for Ocean Isle at Grand Strand. Air VFR, wind at 2504, altimeter 3005.
3005 and 4 Delta Tango copies all. Thank you very much. Alright, so the beach has the same altimeter setting as
Spirit Wings
Florence.
3005, turn right heading 270.
And we have the wind direction at Grand Strand, which is just a few miles southwest of the Ocean Isle Airport.
Right on course.
At 250, so that's going to give us runway 24 at Ocean Isle. We're just crossing through 5,000 feet on our way up to 5,500. And our throttles are advanced all the way forward. So that's all the power she's going to give us. Go ahead and pull some of these RPMs on back to 2,400. There's our 200-foot call out. Right, there's about all the airspeed we're going to get out of it. We'll pull the mixers on back to right around 13.5 gallons.
Radar contact 1 mile south of the Conway Airport. Say altitude no.
All right, we'll check our checklist to make sure everything is set up properly.
Allegiant 1492, descend and maintain 3000.
Descend maintain 3000, Allegiant 1492.
So we got our throttle set, props are set, mixture set, fuel pumps are off, cowl flaps are closed, our instruments are set up and verified, altimeter settings are the same all the way across.
Center 134.37.
And there's our cruise checklist completed.
Spirit Wings 3005, contact Jack.
So if you have any questions or comments about our flight or any flight that you'd like to see, leave them down below. And if you like our videos, then consider liking and subscribing. That way you don't miss anything that we put out. Alright, so we have the engine set in a lean to peak setting. We're cruising true airspeed about 184, and we're burning right at 14 gallons an hour per engine. This is a great medium range airplane, cruises along, true airspeed 185 or 195 depending on how you want it leaned out. Carry a pretty good load, and we can go right around 5 hours worth of flight time.
Approach runway 18, contact tower 128.45.
So we're just about 30 miles outside of 60 Juliet. We'll start our descent somewhere around that 25 nautical mile mark. That gets us set up for a good 500 foot per minute descent rate. It's just being here, it's no problem. We can take it on up to 1,000 feet, but it's good. When we have passengers on board, it's a lot easier on their ears at 500 feet a minute. And Ocean Isle's also not towered, so we'll be making pilot-controlled radio calls to let everybody know in the area where we're at and what our intentions are. Ocean Isle can be a pretty tricky airport to land at. It's got trees on probably 75% of the runway edge, so you get some pretty nasty crosswinds coming to or from the ocean. It's pretty much parallel with the beach, which sets us up for crosswinds almost every day. The morning times usually aren't too bad, but the afternoons, when that sea breeze gets blowing, it can be pretty much a gusty crosswind. Alright, so I've got my altitude bug set to 1,500 feet. That gets us to 500 feet above pattern altitude. We have a 600 foot a minute descent rate on in. And there's a cyan arc that you can see here on the GPS that's going to show us where we'll hit that altitude at. So we're just on the west side of the Ocean Isle Airport where that cyan arc is. So if we need to dial up our vertical speed just a little bit more, we can do that to get on down a little bit quicker. We had some traffic coming off of Ocean Isle, so I wanted to stay up a little bit to make sure that we had plenty of room to pass each other. But they're deviating to the north around us, so they should be no factor by the time we get there. So that Cirrus is at our altitude now, which is 4,400, and they're now going to be turning back towards us, but the air traffic control gave us a nice 5-mile gap. And Myrtle Beach approach, bearing 584 Delta Tango has the field in sight. We can go ahead and drop flight following.
Bearing 584 Delta Tango, roger. No traffic observed or reported between you and the airport. Squawk VFR. Change to advise frequency approved.
Squawk and VFR, frequency change approved. 4 Delta Tango, thanks for your help. See ya.
So long, thanks.
Alright, so we've closed out our VFR flight following with Myrtle Beach, and we're over to Ocean Isle's CTAF, which is their common frequency, and we'll give them our radio calls and position. Ocean Isle Beach, bearing 584 Delta Tango is 9 miles to the northwest inbound for runway 24, Ocean Isle. So why don't we do a little short approach on in here. We'll cross midfield for a left downwind, runway 24, and once we get a beam the numbers, we'll go ahead and bank it on over and keep this thing nice and tight. There's 2,500. We're descending 1,500, which puts us 500 feet above pattern altitude, which allows us to cross midfield and enter the left downwind for runway 24. Alright, prop sync's off, landing lights are on, our beacon is on, and our strobe lights on. Cow flaps are still closed, mixtures are full rich, and we are ready to enter the pattern. Ocean Isle traffic bearing 584 Delta Tango is 4 miles to the northwest, setting up to overfly midfield for a left downwind, runway 24, Ocean Isle. Here's our 200 call out, which means we're 200 feet above our desired altitude. There's 1,600. And there's 1,500. The airplane will start to level itself out, which will allow us to get down below our gear extension speed of 153 knots. 148. Ocean Isle traffic bearing 584 Delta Tango's left downwind runway 24, Ocean Isle. We'll set our heading bug for the runway direction. And we're abeam the numbers. We'll go ahead and go full flaps. Pull this power out. Ocean Isle traffic bearing 584 Delta Tango's left base runway 24, Ocean Isle. Keep it nice and tight. We're pitching for about 105 on base. Ocean Isle traffic bearing 584 Delta Tango's base to final runway 24, Ocean Isle.
500.
Props are full forward, mixtures are full forward. Line up on center line. Pitching for 100. 3 green, full flaps. There's 100. We'll slow up to about
Caution.
90 knots. Keeping it on center line. There's 90. There's ground effect. We'll pull the power on out. A little crosswind. We'll set it on down. Now I got turkeys on the side of the runway, like normal. One thing you got to watch out for at these small airports is animals on the runway. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that flight. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below, and I'd love to answer them for you. We'll catch you on the next flight. Have a good one. See ya.